Jennifer, how are you?
I'm good. I was just about to put like a different screen on the background because of my messy house. I was like, oh man, I don't get the iron in the background.
I love it.
I'm not
I
in
think
the
it's
closet right
perfect.
now. Okay.
I know you were in the closet last time, weren't you?
Yeah, that's even messier. It's been a rough couple of weeks. No housework's happening right now.
That's so
So,
funny. Well, I am recording this, but
okay. Okay,
um,
but it's like the video part too.
yeah,
Okay, oh man,
yeah,
I was like, okay, how do I get the background to
yeah. Go ahead and do what you want to do with your
change
background.
my virtual background or I don't want to filter me. Oh wow, they've got filters now. I could like have makeup added and
Yeah, yeah. You
yeah,
can do all
just
kinds of
touch up a
things.
little bit
Mm-hmm.
after a workout and teaching all day, freshen
Right?
up. Okay,
Let's
what
see.
about this? Does that look okay?
How does
Yes.
this look?
Yes, all the feelings. Okay, now it's like at
Oh,
least,
no, that's good. I actually was going to say the blurred background is
yeah,
better because you don't kind of fade in and out of it like you do
yes.
with the other one. So that's
And
good.
then it's not fake.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
like this beautiful montage behind me, like that's not her house.
Right. Right. Or
She's
like, are you
not
at the
at the
beach?
Golden Gate Bridge. Yeah.
Yes,
No. No, this is real life.
exactly.
There's
Yes.
laundry right here, iron, and some stuff from the football
Yeah.
game over on that side.
It's
So,
great. It's great. Um,
do I
all
sound
right.
okay?
You sound good. You sound really
Great.
good. It's good
Okay.
to see you.
Good to see you too. You've been
Yeah.
busy.
Yeah. Yeah, I have. But it's all good. It's all good busy, you know?
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's the best kind of busy, the fulfilling
Yes,
kind,
exactly.
not the
Exactly.
chaos kind.
No, no. And because my how old are your kids again?
My oldest just went to college, so I have 19, 17, 15, and 9.
Oh, bless you.
This
Bless you.
is a little
Yes.
crazy.
That, yeah. So my two are
Uh-huh.
21, almost 22 and 23. So they're not chaos anymore.
Nice. Their chaos is their own.
Their chaos is their own. Yeah.
Nice.
Occasionally it's like laundry and money, but that's
Hmm.
not very chaotic when they come
Yeah,
here.
right.
Those two things. All right. I want to, first of all, I want to thank you for letting me read your essay. It's so beautiful. I think when I recorded it, Scott had tears in his eyes. Just,
Oh,
he's like the menschy, sweet, like generous, very, very tender soul he is.
I love
And
that.
yeah, me too. Me too. And yeah, it's just really beautiful. And I know that it was a tender anniversary. Um, so first of all, tell me a little bit about what a Katie is, and then tell me what prompted you to write this.
Katie or Caddy, whatever,
Yeah. Okay.
you want to,
Yeah.
either one.
Okay.
So it's CADI is the acronym, and it's causing accidental death or injury to a person. And it sounds better and feels better than accidental killer, but it's
Yeah.
just people who have in some way, shape, or form harmed someone, and they suffer extreme guilt and shame, and that burden, they carry that burden
Mm.
of that person's death or injury with them. And we're just kind of a community that no one ever thinks about, and a lot of people have some really strong emotions against or for, judgmental thoughts. And if you meet anybody who hears my story, sometimes people are like, I don't know if I could live with myself if I did that
Yeah.
to someone else.
Yeah.
And people have actually said that to me,
Mm.
not thinking about, well, I don't know how I live with myself. But I am here.
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
and that I was approaching the 5-year anniversary, and I knew, it was happening, and every year you feel different. And last year I actually had a funny thing happen where I spent the entire day on October 3rd thinking it was the 4th. I don't really understand how I got so confused, but I even put it wrong on my slides for my teacher presentation. I I literally was miserable the whole day. I felt guilty because I hadn't taken off work. And I spent the whole day just fretting over this day until I finally realized, like, wait a minute, today's the 3rd and not the 4th. And then it was like this big joke where I've already beat myself up today, but I
Right.
still have to live it out again tomorrow.
Yeah.
And it really, I felt, was kind of like a gift from the Lord. I mean, I literally was telling my kids they had an appointment, they didn't have an appointment. I was completely convinced that I had skipped the 3rd and it was already the 4th. And then I got to this realization, and then I just started laughing, like belly laughing at myself. And I felt like it was a gift from God in some ways to remind me that I don't need to beat myself up.
Yeah.
And I just had this epiphany, and I still treated the next day, with reverence and just thinking about his family but I didn't beat myself up like I did on the 3rd, because I had already done it. I'd already tortured myself. I'd already cried. I'd already, didn't want to get out of bed and dreaded everything. And so I just felt like that was a gift. And so when I saw this, I had been keeping up with my steps. I'm trying to get better with my health,
Yeah. Yeah.
I battled COVID in August pretty bad.
Oh, real. That's what you were referring to.
Yes,
Oh no,
I
I'm
had.
so sorry to hear that.
Yeah, thank you. It was really rough, like sick for 2 weeks. My oxygen was low. I went and got the transfusion done. They think that I probably more than likely had the variant, and it was pretty awful. And so I know that I've always struggled with my heart, just wondering if my heart was still okay or better, or if I aged myself, with all the stress of the last few years and then with COVID. And so I was like, oh, I'm going to do this challenge, and I'm going to hit 10,000 steps a day. I'm going to do it. There was like prizes, and I was like, yeah. And then I get the form, and it was ending on October 4th.
Right.
And I thought, oh, what if I did all 6 days? And then on the 7th day, I don't want to get out of bed.
Yeah.
Because it's the 5-year anniversary. And then I just stopped and I froze. And
has that happened before where you haven't gotten out of bed on the anniversary?
Yeah, especially the first one.
Okay. Yeah.
And you just want to cry, or if you do get out of bed, you just know you're so fragile that those intrusive thoughts that can just pop up. I mean, you could be feeling like a good moment, but then it just, you're like, he's not here because of you. Or, I battled a lot of that, especially early on. Yeah. And it could be any day. It wasn't just on the anniversary. It was just heavier. Or thinking, is his family thinking about the accident too in this moment, and just thinking about them, or how are they feeling? And so I was just sitting there, and when I read that it was, ending on the 4th, I just started to cry. And I was like, this is what I need to do.
Yeah.
This is the only positive thing that I can do for myself that may give me that push to not be laying under the covers. And if, people choose to do that, you got to do that, like if you're grieving, when my friend went through a divorce, and it was a pretty nasty divorce, I told her, I said, you know what, schedule your meltdown and allow yourself time to just eat the ice cream, cry, stay in bed, but give yourself a timeline. When the timeline comes, say, nope, it's a new day. I let myself rest. I let myself feel the feelings, and I kind of I gave her that advice through my situation,
Yeah.
And so I just started writing, and I hit that 10,000 mark every single day.
Good for you.
And I was like in shock. Now it took work, and
like, did you like walk around your bedroom?
The house, like, well, okay, don't make fun of me, but it is, I mean, I did go one time, like like to an actual park.
Right.
You know, like we have beautiful trails here in Waco. But most of those steps were literally in my neighborhood or up and down my street, because if it starts to get dark, I won't leave my street.
Yeah.
So I just
Yeah.
walk from stop
Up and
sign
down.
to stop sign. And I mean, sometimes I wave like a snake, you know, and my
Yeah.
neighbors just kind of, but I won't leave the street because of, you know, fear. And
Sure.
it's not even about fear about myself, but I never want to cause another person driving to accidentally hit me.
Mm-hmm.
Is that crazy? Like, I'm not thinking about as much of myself as I am
You're
bringing
thinking
another
about,
caddy.
yeah, yeah,
Causing another
totally.
cat. Yeah.
I don't think that's crazy at all. I
Yeah.
think it makes perfect sense given what you've gone through and what you're going through.
Yeah.
So you hit your steps.
I hit my steps.
Yeah, which is so exciting. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Did you get a prize?
I did. I won like, okay, what's crazy is the first day that I sent my steps in, I was the winner of that day's drawing, and I got a $30 gift card to Target.
Hey.
And I was like, yeah, right. I'm actually saving it for my book launch. I'm going to have like little prizes for people for my book launch.
Yes.
And I was like, I'm saving this because it's just, for that next thing. But
so they can go buy your book with the $30 gift card from Target.
Yeah. Or just like, thank you for sharing my book.
Here's no, I know.
Gift card. Yeah.
That's so smart. You got to do that.
Yeah. I mean, it was just, I don't even want it for me. I want to pay it forward. So nothing about that was for me at all. Like even the steps, it wasn't about, any kind of weight loss thing. It was just saying, I'm committing to time. And I would listen to different podcasts, and I would just listen to, the crickets, or pay attention to the sunset, and just remember that I'm alive and I'm breathing, and I need to take an appreciation each day that I'm still here.
Yeah.
And so on the last day, I did something a little crazy, because there's this thing called Jacob's Ladder here in Waco, and I've never climbed it. My kids talk about it like in terror because their coaches make them go up and down this trail. And it's a pretty good hike. It's like 7 flights of stairs, and it's steep, and it's like stonework. So it's not steady all the time. And it has like this old wooden railway all the way up, like crickety. It's kind of sketchy. Okay. But it's beautiful. And it overlooks a beautiful scenery right there by the Brazos River. And I was like, I'm climbing it. I'm doing it. And I did at 8:00 in the morning, right after sunrise. I mean, it was just beautiful, and went up to the top and felt my heart just pound and then come back to normal. And just thank God for that. I was just really appreciative that my body could do it, and that, I was able to see what I saw, and just thinking about David, and that I did something for me, and not feeling shame or guilt for that. Yeah. And that was kind of like a victory, sort of.
It's a huge victory.
Yeah.
And I love, and I'm going to ask everybody who's watching and listening to listen to the episode where I read this, but there's a moment where you don't know if you should do this, and you feel like almost like he nudges you, right, to swipe up on the challenge. And I think that the best way anyone can honor a life is to live. And because that's it's so precious, right? So I thought it was really beautiful. I think it's really beautiful.
Thank
and
you.
That's why I emailed you back right away, and I'm like, can I read this? Because I think anyone who's listened to your episode, which I'm also going to encourage people to go back, and I put your podcast in the show notes of this, your episode of our podcast in the show notes, and the link to this actual essay in the show notes. So people have many opportunities to listen and click and read It's all really important stuff. It's substance that not everybody talks about. It's real people, real emotions. Um, people don't know how they would do it. They should listen to your story.
Mm,
Okay.
thank you for that. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. And
Thank you. Thank you, Jennifer. This is really great. And like I said, I hope people go and just click right over to the episode now and listen to your essay. And then listen to your episode on the only one in the room, which was in our season 10. I forgot. I think it's episode 2 or 3 of season 10. So no, 11. No, it's 10. Scratch
it's
that.
in there.
It's in there. No, it's last season. So it's season 10.
Yeah.
And you're wonderful. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. And
Of
I
course.
appreciate your support so much.
Always, always. You're part of the only one in the room family.
Oh, yes, we're family. I
Yes.
know. One of these days I'll make it out to California. If you come to
Yeah.
Texas, I will take you around. We'll go do the things.
Okay. Bye. I'm walking into another year, and I'm not talking about the new year. Soon it'll be another year since my accident. Anniversaries are always a topic of interest and extremely personal among Katie's. Do we honor it? Do we stay in bed and pretend that the day does not exist? If we do want some type of remembrance, then how? It was told to me by way of another miracle, my neighbor of 2 years, who is also a Katie, and I never knew. That first year was the hardest. He was right. I was subconsciously ticking off the days, weeks, and months leading to October 4th. But this year, I am walking into the next year from my accident, challenging myself to grow physically, emotionally, and spiritually stronger. I follow an account on social media that was calling on followers to make a goal to reach 1,000 steps per day. I tried several times previously to make the count and came up short. I averaged 7,000 steps no matter what I did. However, this same fitness influencer put out an official 10,000 step a day challenge with prizes and accountability. As quick as my fingers could swipe up, I was ready to join. And then the details caught me off guard. It ended on the anniversary of my accident. For a split second, I hesitated and thought to myself, but I don't know how I will feel that day. I may want to be under the covers, crying, resting, and doing my best to shut out the world. The last 4 years have been a different flavor of emotions. Every anniversary comes with a hefty dose of grace for those emotions and the hard truth that you are still here to experience time moving forward.